China warned the United States not to carry out further military escalations in the South China Sea. The two countries dramatically increased the presence of their armed forces in the contested territory. Launching U.S. news. A few days after the U.S. deployed 2 aircraft carriers to the region in a move deemed very rare, which China considers very provocative, Chinese state media on Wednesday confirmed it had sent a brigade of flight forces to 2 islands managed in the islands' Paracels or contested along with a series of warships. China plans to conduct direct attack maritime target attack drills in response to the increasing U.S. military presence there. China claims the U.S. presence as a real driver of militarization in the South China Sea. If U.S. military provocation in the South China Sea continues, China has no choice but to do more training and deploy more warships and warplanes in the South China Sea. It was also explained that China could also build air defense zones around areas it thought were similar to those that had triggered heated disputes with the U.S. in the past. The provocative language used by China serves as the latest rescue in a dramatic improvement between the Trump administration and Chinese President Xi Jinping's government in recent weeks. Earlier, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announced at the beginning of last week that America would begin to take a new stance against Beijing in the South China Sea. The U.S. did not violate official neutrality, but announced new support for allies and partners who also claimed islands, reefs and fishing grounds as their own. Pompeo's remarks came shortly after Beijing announced new sanctions against a number of American lawmakers believed to have threatened Chinese sovereignty in the region. China then also threatened to impose more sanctions on American officials if the U.S. did not back down from interference in Beijing's plans for Hong Kong. The Trump administration has mobilized rare bipartisan support in Congress to oppose the adoption of China's new national security law in a semi-autonomous city that is widely seen as an attempt to impose complete control on the former British colony. Beijing's move towards Hong Kong, together with violent clashes at its contested border with India last month, have prompted many analysts to believe that China is utilizing the ongoing impact of the global virus pandemic as an opportunity to achieve broader territorial objectives. Just a reminder, the 2 U.S. Navy aircraft carriers have restarted the rare double training in the South China Sea, for the second time this month. The aircraft carriers USS Ronald and USS Nimitz carried out war drills consisting of more than 12,000 U.S. military personnel between 2 aircraft carriers and cruisers and their escort destroyers, which operated in the South China Sea on Friday. The U.S. Pacific Fleet named the 2 aircraft carriers, with more than 120 aircraft deployed between the 2 Kappa, who carried out tactical air defense exercises to maintain wariness and combat readiness. The troops are training to the highest level of readiness to ensure responsiveness to all possibilities through power projections, the statement said. Facing the U.S. step, China does not want to lose. China has deployed fighter jets to the runway on the disputed island there. Launching Forbes. Satellite imagery on July 15 showed that there were at least 4 fighters sent. The move comes 2 days after U.S. Secretary of State Michael Pompeo stated that Beijing's claim to offshore resources in most of the South China Sea was completely illegal. The aircraft is believed to be a variant of the J-11B made in China from the famous Fierce Flanker. This aircraft is generally on par with the F-15 Eagle used by the U.S. Air Force. Still quoting Forbes, China built various versions of the Russian fighter family, initially known as the Sukhoi Su-27 Flanker. While the exact variant is difficult to see from satellite imagery, there is no doubt that this is Flankers. Flankers are on the runway on Woody Island in the Paracel Islands. Although de facto occupied by China, the region is also claimed by Taiwan and Vietnam, and is one of the many disputed islands in the area. Previously, China had added military facilities in recent years and had deployed troops and bombers there.